Prime Minister, what would you change about the country?
I think I would try to be a bit more honest with them about, if by some miracle I ended up Prime Minister, about the challenges that we face. I would say, I get that we're from very different perspectives and we all have a lot of different local challenges, and there are immediate needs that people are suffering. But unless we start to be honest with each other in a respectful way, there's no way we're going to get to deal with the challenges. I think that'd be my initial address. And then I would really love to push to get sort of community conversations going. You see town halls, but I think putting people in circles, representatives of community who are willing to come out and actually talk to one another, particularly if they're on different sides, and then begin to sort of look at this idea of, how can we make our public square a place where we can have legitimate conversations and disagreements with one another in a respectful way and move on. Because I've seen it done many times where it's really worked, and people are surprised at how well they get along with other people who previously they just saw as the opposite side. I would start those conversations. I think that would be my first year as going in and not even talking, but sitting in on conversations in different places all over the place with whatever my team happened to be.
Next. Is what?
Do you think opposition in the government is what creates all the problems, making the two sides face each other?
Yep. Do. I would definitely begin, as I said with the community circles, I think you need to start circling up. Right now they're in a remarkable position in that they're redoing the House of Commons. So that would have been a perfect opportunity to actually create a House of Commons that is in a circle. And it's steeped in tradition and all that stuff is true. But I think if we were to both put people in a circle and have people sit with each other in different parties, so you're not necessarily beside somebody who is going to be the other, be on your own team. And then I think we'd have to do some work with, making sure people can vote for their constituents. We need to really think through voting as a bloc within the different parties. Otherwise, I think that's going to continue to be a problem.
What aspect of your life would you like to see change in future years to come, and what would you tell future Mark in order to prepare him for this change?
I think what I would change the most is how I have this word that's been my guiding word for this year, and that is intent. So I think I'm a pretty emotional person. I wear my heart on my sleeve a lot. I think it's partly what makes me gravitate to being a teacher, because if you're not leading with your heart as a teacher, I'm not sure exactly why you're here. But I also think that because we care so much for kids, I can speak for myself because I do, I look at the kind of challenges that come in and I have emotional reactions to the kind of challenges that I know you'll face. And as a father, it's even more pronounced in a lot of ways for your own kids. So I think acting with more intent is a challenge I would like to give myself. I think that could make me more effective. Whereas I do a lot of emotional up and downs. And I think I need to really decide how I can make the biggest difference in the amount of time I have and just go ahead and do that. What advice I'd have for my future self, I would probably echo this guy Guja, who's a great leader in Haida Gwaii. And he said to our IGS 12 group when we were all there, one of the most profound things I've ever said, and he said, this is hard. This kind of work is hard. It's difficult to get out there and fight against all of these, and I think he used a word like assholes or something like that. It's hard every day, and if you don't do it and try to have some fun and have some joy in your life every day, then you're not going to survive. And so I think that would be the advice I would tell my future self, to make sure that I kept my eye on that. Because I get to be here. I get to be in front of kids like you. I get to go home and be parents to my two sons and be a husband to my wife, and I have an amazing life. I live in an incredible place. I'm really lucky. I need to drink all that in, because they have to be with me, and you have to be with me every single minute. And if that's a total drag because I'm dragging the challenges of the world with me, if I can't do that in a way that also helps me to live kind of joyfully and celebrate every day, then I don't think I'll be as effective as I could be. It's probably the best advice I could give to myself.
What goals have you set out for yourself when you first started the IGS program?
I think I know it's the greatest thing that I could do would be to enable you and everybody who's here and try to give the world a chance to have you enabled, if that makes sense. So if this stuff resonates with you, which I know that it does, because I just read your paragraph on Africa, it's gonna get inside you, and you're gonna want to probably do something about it, and that can come in 1,000 different ways. But the way that I feel like I'm most effective is if I can get somebody inspired to want to do work beyond high school, in whatever way that is. And so that, I think, ultimately was our goal for IGS. And I think we in a lot of ways, we've overachieved, which isn't to say that everybody walked out the door in grade 12 and went, oh my God, I'm going to go do something remarkable. You know, people are allowed to still search, but I think if we put something in there, that kernel, then that's really important. I think that's probably what we can do the best. And that may be better than me, being prime minister. Honestly, collectively, what every IGS kid will achieve as they go through, in the end, that'll be probably thousands of kids for me, is going to be way more important than what I could have done in a lifetime. And I'm already seeing it, to be honest. What kind of legacy would I like to leave behind? I would like people to be bothered by what they've learned here. That right when they're going to relax and they're going to go, oh, maybe, it's just too hard to overcome. I hope that there's a part of them that goes, geez, but we were challenged to do great things. And I would love to be that. And then, walk up to Crash on the street and he goes, you know what, we got to go have a beer because this is what I'm doing now. And I would sit down with Crash and Crash would go, and I'd go, oh my God, Crash, that's amazing. I can't believe it. Actually, I can. Or something like that. Those conversations are conversations I've had, and I hope I continue to be able to do that. And I hope that IGS continues beyond the next 6.5 years, which I'm almost entirely positive it will.